I'm just a man.
Good morning and welcome back to the Now Morning Show, your Monday edition, where we are continuing conversations with Trinidad and Tobago Youth Ambassadors. To do that, I am joined by the Director and Program Manager, Mr. Kendall Vincent, and National Youth Ambassador Ryan Duncan. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
An absolute delight. The last time around that we've spoken to young persons, we truly got a sense of the future being in good hands. But for those who didn't get a chance to check out that previous conversation, Kendall, tell us a little bit as to what the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Ambassadors does, how it originated, and how people can be a part.
Thank you so much, Ainka. In regards to the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Ambassadors, it actually has this year making the 10th anniversary. It was started on August the 12th, 2014. And of course, officially we incorporated on the 1st of October. So we're just about 10 years old. So much times when we look at the media, we look at public spaces, social media, we see the negative aspects of young persons being amplified or highlighted. So therefore, the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Ambassadors was created. You know, we have a lot of young persons, amazing young persons in communities across Trinidad and Tobago doing exceptional work, both locally, regionally, and internationally. Of course, the Commonwealth Year of Youth winner, Maya Nanan, is from Trinidad and Tobago. So, you know, we have young persons doing positive things. And therefore, the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Ambassadors is really that platform basically for young persons to sort of come together in a shared space to be able to amplify those positive messaging as well as to support, and really sort of, chart their future. We look at youth as leaders of the future, but I would like to think that young persons are leaders of now, and that's why we're here in the Now Morning program.
Boy, look at you making the right plug. That means then that there's room for more of them. So on the screens right now, we do have some of the criteria and the benefits of becoming a youth ambassador, but why not hear it from a youth ambassador themselves? So Ryan, tell me a little bit as to your experience, as to what encouraged you to become a part of it and what it's been like thus far.
So the experience was really nice, and what encouraged me is that, seeing youths out there doing the right thing, and I said I wanted to be a part of it as well. I want to make a positive change from my community and the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, and I just love what the organization does, and it has a lot of benefits. It has benefit for foreign travel, it has events you could attend, you get leadership skills and execute your leadership role. So I love the organization and I love what they do, and I really glad that I was a part of it, or I'm a part of it now.
Nice. Now, I imagine the different capacities in which the youth ambassadors can act, because there are so many spheres that they can shine. So tell me a little bit more of the structure of the ambassadorship, if you will. What do we do, not necessarily on a day-to-day, but perhaps on an individual basis to contribute?
So the role of the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Ambassadors, and specifically the National Youth Ambassadors, the cohort really sort of the focus or emphasis has been really on those UN Sustainable Development Goals. So the work is really aligned towards, these Sustainable Development Goals. One, they look at it from, just to give a kind of broad scope as to what they do, is that they work in tandem with community organizations, different youth development stakeholders to sort of co-create programs. They consult with young persons to hear what is happening with young persons, because in order to be ambassadors, you have to know what's happening with the young persons, as well as, we know that there are lots of amazing organizations doing work. So instead of, duplication, we try as much to partner and collaborate. So I think a lot of the work is, of course, recently, two of our colleagues was here a few weeks ago to talk about the National Youth Summit, and this was one of the initiatives that came out from the National Youth Ambassadors cohort.
Sounding good, sounding good. So in terms of aligning yourself perhaps with a particular cause, there is basically every and anyone to choose from.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Now, Ryan, what does that look like for you? Because you are balancing school, you are representing for the Green Machine, so that you have school and you have these extra activities. What does that look like for you?
Well, I really try to manage my time. It is very difficult and hard, but yet I still have to be committed to the organizations and to the other academics outside of school, but I try my very best to make time when I can, and also make time for school as well, because education is important and education is the key, but I don't want to lose the outside opportunity out of school, so I try to make time.
Tell me what sort of time you allocate towards these endeavors. Is this like a weekly thing, a monthly thing? Do you have it set aside that way?
No, not really, but I would say it would be a weekly thing, probably like once a week for the outside organizations and for school, well, every day.
Well, right, of course. So it sounds like something that is very much manageable and very much encouraged. We did have the posters up and the flyers up, and we will continue to share it. But if you were to explain, Kendall, how we can become a part of the organization, we need to be between 15 to 19.
29.
So I know I'm out of
15
that.
to 29.
No, 29. See, still out of that. But tell me a little bit as to what else is the criteria that we look at for youth ambassadors.
So in terms of the criteria, we do have young persons between the ages of 15 to 29. What the criteria that we look at, of course, the application processes, extremely, of course, we have the QR code on of course, you can visit the social media platforms at TT Youth Ambassadors. The application form is pretty simple in terms of you can either scan the QR code, or you can also send us an email at info.tty@gmail.com. Perhaps you were not able to catch everything on this interview, or you're now turning on your TV and seeing it. Of course, you can reach out to myself at 868-463-3350. That number is 463-3350. You can contact the organization at 372-6912. So it's really just a simple application form. Once persons complete the application form, of course, we know that you mentioned the time commitment. I just want to quickly, go back there in terms of we craft the training in a way that it doesn't work against persons who may be working or in school. So a lot of the activities are done on weekend.
Makes sense. So that it's more of a volunteer thing, and it definitely will just work in tandem with all of your goals. Now, Ryan, I'm going to close with you simply because we know how to be a part of it. We know what it can do for us. You, however, as an ambassador, should encourage other persons to join. So I'd like you to look directly into that camera and tell Trinidad and Tobago what it means to be a youth ambassador.
Well, what it really means to be a youth ambassador is thoroughly the most important role is leadership. You have to know how to manage your time, how to work with persons, communication. You have to be an active listener. And it really and truly is important for youths to be and get out there and really get involved in the organizations and really commit your time to something positive and try to make a positive change in your community and Trinidad and Tobago and society.
Thank you very much,
You're
Mr. Ryan
welcome.
Duncan, National Youth Ambassador, along with Director and Program Manager Kendall Vincent, giving us some insight into what the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Ambassadors are up to and how you can be a part. Thank you for joining us this morning, gentlemen, and best of luck.
Thank you for having us.
An absolute delight here on The Now, the leaders of The Now, joining us and giving us some inspiration. But coming up next, we have even more after these messages.
Set your sight